This happened in my friend's town. My friend, his name is not disclosed, and he lives in a small town that is not too far from where I live with my family. My friend has always been a bit of a skeptic when it comes to things like ghosts or possessions. But recently, he found himself in a situation that made him question everything he thought he knew about the paranormal. It all started when one of his childhood friends reached out to him for help. This friend, who was named Alex, claimed that he had recently moved into an old house and had no idea that it had a dark history. Apparently, the house had once been the site of a brutal murder, and now strange things were happening. Alex told my friend that he couldn't take it anymore and begged my friend to come over and help him. So my friend, being the good friend that he is, didn't hesitate to help. When he arrived at Alex's house, he noticed that the front door was wide open and Alex was nowhere to be seen. He called out for Alex, but there was no reply. As he stepped further into the house, he began to feel a sudden chill down his spine. It was then that he noticed a set of muddy footprints leading up the stairs. As he followed the footprints, he felt an overwhelming sense of dread and fear wash over him. He couldn't shake the feeling that someone or something was watching him. Just as he reached the top of the stairs, he heard a blood-curdling scream coming from one of the rooms. He cautiously approached the room and knocked on the door. When there was no reply, he slowly opened it to find Alex standing in the corner of the room, eyes wide with terror. Alex explained that he had been searching for my friend and had accidentally stumbled upon a hidden room in the attic. Inside the room, he had found a dusty old book that seemed to be filled with satanic symbols and chants. As he was reading through the book, he suddenly felt a presence behind him, and when he turned around, he saw a shadowy figure standing in the corner of the room. Alex screamed and ran from the attic, hiding in his bedroom until my friend found him. They decided to search the attic together, and what they found was shocking. In the corner of the attic, they discovered a pentagram etched into the floorboards and a circle of candles surrounding it. The sight of this sent chills down their spines as it became clear to them that the house was harboring some evil energy. They quickly left the attic and locked the door, hoping to put the terrifying experience behind them. However, as the nights wore on, strange things began to happen. First, objects started moving on their own, sliding off shelves and crashing to the floor. Then the lights flickered and dimmed, casting eerie shadows around the house. Suddenly, the temperature in the room plummeted, and a cold wind seemed to sweep through the house. My friend and Alex huddled together in the corner of the room, too scared to move or make a sound. That's when they heard footsteps pacing back and forth in the hallway outside their bedroom. They froze in fear as the footsteps slowly approached their door. Then, to their horror, they heard the door handle turn and the door creaked open. Just as they braced themselves for the worst, the door swung open and a young girl walked through the doorway. She was dressed in a Victorian nightgown and her hair was long and tangled. For a moment, my friend and Alex were stunned with fear. But then the girl turned to them and spoke in a voice that sounded ancient and raspy. She introduced herself as Amelia and explained that she had been trapped in the house for many years. She told them that she had been murdered by her father and that her spirit was now bound to the house. She begged them to help her break the curse and set her free. As Amelia spoke, my friend noticed a pentagram necklace around her neck. He had seen similar symbols in the book that Alex had found in the attic. Could this necklace be the key to Amelia's freedom? My friend asked. But before he could react, Amelia's form began to fade away. She warned them that if they didn't break the curse, she would be forced to haunt the house forever. With that, she vanished into thin air, leaving my friend and Alex shaken to their core. They knew they had to do something to help Amelia, but where do you even start when dealing with a vengeful ghost? As they searched for answers, they stumbled upon an old diary hidden in the attic. The diary belonged to Amelia's mother, and as they read through it, they discovered a horrifying truth. Amelia's father had been a member of a satanic cult, and he had used their house for his dark rituals. He had sacrificed countless innocent souls, including Amelia's, in order to gain power and wealth. But there was one thing that stood out in the diary. Amelia's mother had written about a ritual that could break the curse and set Amelia's soul free. It was a risky plan that involved using a silver dagger to destroy the pentagram necklace that had been keeping Amelia trapped. My friend and Alex looked at each other, knowing that they had found the key to solving the mystery. But as they prepared for the ritual, they had no idea of the danger that lay ahead. That night, they gathered the materials they would need for the ritual: a silver dagger and a wooden box to contain the remains of the pentagram necklace. As the clock struck midnight, they climbed the attic stairs and entered the room where they had first encountered Amelia. The air was thick with tension as they placed the dagger and box in the center of the pentagram etched into the floorboards. Then they heard footsteps again, slowly approaching the attic. They hid in a corner, their hearts pounding in their chests. The footsteps stopped outside the door, and the handle began to turn. Suddenly, the door burst open, and a shadowy figure stood in the doorway. It was tall and gaunt, with glowing red eyes that seemed to pierce the darkness. My friend and Alex froze in terror, unsure of what to do. The creature took a step forward, and its eyes fixed on the silver dagger. It lunged toward them, knocking the dagger out of my friend's hand. The wooden box flew across the room and split open, revealing a pentagram necklace that glowed with an eerie light. The creature let out a roar and lunged for the necklace. In a panic, my friend grabbed it and held it aloft. The creature recoiled as if burned and let out a deafening screech. It lunged again, but this time my friend was ready. He thrust the necklace towards the creature, and it vanished with a final ear-piercing screech. As the creature disappeared, the necklace fell from my friend's hands and shattered into a million pieces. The room was filled with a blinding white light, and when it faded, everything was different. The pentagram on the floor was gone, and the walls were no longer adorned with satanic symbols. The attic window, which had been boarded up, was now open, and a gentle breeze blew through the room. My friend and Alex looked at each other in disbelief. Had they just defeated a demon? Suddenly, they heard a voice. It was Amelia's, but this time it sounded peaceful and free. She thanked them for helping her break the curse and setting her soul free. Then she disappeared. My friend and Alex left the attic and went to check on Alex's dog. The dog had been missing since the night before, and they had feared the worst. But when they found him, they realized that he was no longer afraid of the house. He wagged his tail and licked their hands as if to say hello. As the sun rose, my friend left Alex's house feeling drained but satisfied. He had witnessed things that he couldn't explain, but he knew that he had helped a lost soul find peace. The encounter had shaken him to his core, but it had also opened his eyes to the possibility of the paranormal. He no longer questioned the existence of ghosts or possessions because he had experienced it firsthand. And he knew that some things are better left undisturbed. Alex and my friend remained close after this experience, often sharing stories of their encounter with Amelia and the demon that had possessed her. They both agreed that they would never forget the terror and wonder of that night, and they cherished their bond as friends who had faced the darkness together and survived. So, did my friend actually manage to stop the demon from haunting Alex's house forever? Or is the house still cursed, and will the demon eventually return? Let me know your thoughts below.